everyone, welcome back to my video tutorial. Today we're going to do the finished edging on the cowl, and it looks so magnificent, fantastic, beautiful. This is the one that I just finished. So this is the finished edge right here. And here's a granny square. And here's a granny square. And this one is the edge that isn't finished. Again, it's pretty. If you were just done and you wanted to stop there, that's completely fine. But I think this looks a lot better. And this edging is very, very simple. This is a great just thing to have in your pocket and to know how to do, because you could do a blanket edge with this. You could do a shawl or whatever project you have that needs a nice edge. Again, it's very simple and it looks very, very pretty. So let's get started. We're going to work on the front side of the cowl. Again, in this instance, I'm making a cowl. Could be an infinity scarf or just a regular scarf if you would like. A poncho would be really nice too. That's another thing. This is the wrong side, so you can see the seams. And we're not going to be working on that side. We're going to be working on the right side. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay. So you can start anywhere along the edge. I always like to start in the beginning of the group of double crochets, group of 3 double crochets. So you're going to need the yarn, same yarn that you used. And then you're going to need your 5mm hook. And then for finishing later, you're going to need your needle. Okay, so let's get started. This joining of the new yarn works in any situation where you have to, say you finish, you're doing granny squares or you're doing granny triangles, or you want to add a different color. This is the same technique that I use to join a new piece of yarn. So why are we doing this? Because each granny square is it's completed on its own. So we don't use the yarn that we use for the granny square to further the project, okay? So we're stopping and starting anew. So you can start along anywhere along the edge. But like I said, I'd like to start along the groups of the double crochets. And again, this works for any joining of new yarn, if it's a new color or if it's just a new section that you're doing. Okay, so you find the V, which here's a chain right here. Some people call it a V, it is called a V. But you find a chain, you insert your hook through the top V only so that you still have this underneath, okay? And you take your yarn. Again, I like to leave extra at the end. Make a loop. Put the loop on the hook. Whoops. And you just pull through. You see that? So let's do it again. You have your hook. Insert the hook through the chain. You have your loop on the hook, and then you pull through. Okay? And then you take the 2 strands, yarn over, and pull through. And that locks it on there. Okay? Let's do that one more time. So we're going to make a loop, have your hook, hook through the chain, put your loop on the chain, and you pull through, and then you yarn over with both strands of yarn, and then you pull through both strands so it locks it on there. So what we're going to do is the first sequence that we're going to do is a chain 3. So we already have one chain on there, and you can certainly do it with the 2 strands. I just like working with the 1 strand, but make sure it's the strand that is connected to the yarn. Okay, so this is already a chain 1, so we're going to chain another one for 2 and chain another one for 3. Okay, so this counts as our first double crochet right here. Okay, and then all you do for the remainder of the chains is you double crochet. Okay, so I always like to, this is the straggler right here of yarn. You want to tuck that behind when you're going. So here's the yarn right here, and we're going to do double crochet. Oh. Double crochet. See? And then a double crochet. And you just want to go in every chain. And I'll show you what to do when you get to a corner, which is this right here. Because sometimes the chains aren't as defined. So you kind of just have to make up your own. And just as long as it looks even, it will be totally fine. I used to, when I first started, I did a lot of blankets. I used to obsess over that, I guess you could say. But as long as everything looks even, so here's what I'm talking about. We have one right here. We have this big one. And this one's kind of hard to see. And this one. So as long as they look even and there aren't big gaps in between, then it'll be fine. Okay, so I think this is one, but it doesn't really matter. You can just make a double crochet. And then we have this weird looking one that gets a double crochet. And then I don't know, these are all twisted because this is where we join the granny squares. So just as long as they're evenly spaced out, and if you don't like the way something looks, you can go back and put it where you like it, or maybe add it to, it's your project, so you do with it. And remember, it's handmade, so it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. So this is what the corner looks like, and it just looks a lot better. So just keep doing double crochets in each chain, and I will meet you back at the beginning. One thing I wanted to say is if you are just starting out, you can always put a marker to know that this is where you started. So I just get a piece of yarn from a different project, put the yarn in here, and it also gives you practice with making loops. Pull through and pull through. So this shows you, it just tells you when you come back around, this is where you started, okay? So it's just one double crochet in each chain, and I'll meet you back around. Okay, everyone, so we're coming back on the beginning, and I have a last double crochet in here. And then I have our marker here, and you can just take the marker out. And this was the first chain 3 that we did. So we're just going to put a single crochet on the top chain to finish this round. Did I say single crochet? I meant a slip stitch. And this is not cooperating. Here we go. Okay, so just take a look, take a second to take a look, and make sure that you have a double crochet in every chain. It's a real bummer sometimes, like when you go back and you see a missing, you missed a spot. That looks good. So it's much easier to correct this now that, you know, you just have to go back and fix that one chain rather than have a finished project and say, oh no, I missed this chain or that chain. So it's super noticeable to you. Just saying. So now we're going to start our final row. And what we are going to do is called a reverse single crochet. So the past row we went this way, right? Double crochet, double crochet. Reverse is you just go in the opposite direction. So we were going this way from right to left. Now we're going to go from left to right. And how do you do that? Now you work from the inside. So you put your work inside out. And this is where the chain marker really comes in handy. So here's our first chain. So this way we went this way from left to right. Now we're going right to left. So we're going to work our way like that. Beep. So this is going to be our first chain. So what we're going to do is chain 2, and all it is single crochets. So it's super easy. It's only chain 1, not chain 2, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna go in the next one, chain, single crochet, and you just want to single crochet in each chain on top. This, I would recommend putting a chain marker at the beginning of your row because it's very easy to forget. I'm doing half double crochet. It's very, very easy to forget where you started. So where's my little marker right here? This was our first chain. I'm going to insert, here's my marker, loop over, oops, oh boy, pull through, and then lock it in. Okay, that is it's very easy to get lost, especially when you're only doing a single crochet. So please, please, please use a chain marker, okay? So again, all we're doing is just single crochet on the top into each chain. See that? So just continue all the way till you reach this marker, and I will see you back. Okay, so we're coming up on the last 3 chains. So just single crochet. You see how that marker comes in handy? So many times I've been I kind of zone out when I'm doing projects. It's very relaxing and I forget where I am, and sometimes it's really hard to see. Excuse me. My allergies are horrible today. But especially if you're doing rows and rows of single crochets. Excuse me. So, it's your lifesaver is definitely are these chain markers. So here is our first chain, and all we're gonna do is slip stitch into that, and then I just pull up. You can also make a knot. So leave the loop on your chain, and if you want to, I'll show you this. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Fall allergies today. All week they've been really bad, but today they've been horrible. So all you do to pull a loop to make a little knot is yarn over, pull through, and then pull all the way up. You know I like to leave a long piece of yarn to work with. Cut it, and then you pull through. Tighten it up right here. It's such a good feeling completing a project. So we're going to just weave the loose ends through. You take your needle, go through like that. And then again, the first 3 or 4, I go through the top. It's just my thing, I don't know. Some people just start working down immediately, but I like doing that. And then this, you just work your way down to right here. And again, this is how I do it. Everyone does it completely different, so this is just how I like to do my ends. Okay, so we're down right here. This is where the double crochet is. And in these chains, I just pull through. And then I go back the other way. You have to remember these go through the laundry and everything, so you want your ends tucked in nicely, and you don't want anything coming apart. So that's another one. And then the third and final one. So that one, and since you're at the end of the project, there's no need to leave a little straggler there. And then this is a one that we just first tucked under when we first started. So you just cut that one. And look at this. Turn it back the right side. We're done. This is the edge that we just completed. See how beautiful that is? And then this is the edge previously. So I'm sorry, so this is the edge that we just completed right here. And then you can go back and do the same thing on this edge. So what is it? It's just a row of double crochets in each chain on top. And then you go back and you do the reverse single crochet, which is just a single crochet on the other side. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments. I do read them. If you would like, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. I will be making more videos. And like I said before, I have so many patterns, unique patterns, that I think everyone will enjoy. It's very, very relaxing. And especially we're going through the pandemic now, so it's calms your nerves down. So I thank everyone for watching, and I hope everyone's doing well. Bye-bye.